I went to Martin's studio planning to do an exhibition of his work that focused on his recent sculpture, which makes up the bulk of the show. But when I saw this installation on his floor of the studio, I knew I wanted to include that in the exhibit. And even though it was unexpected for him, this was just an experimentation. But I think that the fact that this does fit as a next step in his practice and that he's still experimenting at this point has made it a real asset. Getting this installation to the museum and replicating the exact installation as it was in Martin's studio was quite a task for the museum preparator, who used a large sheet of plastic to cut out the African continent shape that all of the scraps fit in, and then individually numbered and labeled and wrapped each of the roughly 200 pieces of scrap metal that make up the installation. And then we also had to account for the fact that in Martin's studio there's like a light concrete floor, and at the museum it's a very dark floor, and these dark scraps may not visually pop off the floor in the way that they did in Martin's studio. So to solve that, we discussed adding rice or sand, which we settled on sand.
It was like about 6 feet tall. So it was a mask form, and then it had a slender thing rising from it going up. And I thought, I want to riff on that. So I came back to the studio and I cut this pipe, and then I didn't know what to do with it, and so I started sticking things in it. You can see that it's, I'm trying to present a sort of visage or a face, and I was trying to make this a freestanding thing, but I just couldn't figure it out. And then I realized that it needed an environment to be in. So that's how the piece actually happened.